So today we'll be looking at styling your process and workspace in today's drop-in session. So we figured, where it's the start of a new year, you might have new ideas or new branding that you may want to apply to your workspace and your process. So we figured now would be a really good time just to go back through that, just show some of the basics, sort of any interesting things that you guys might not have picked up on, and hopefully you'll learn something new today. And yeah, so let's get started. So in today's drop-in session, we're going to cover four main topics. So we're going to be looking at the workspace palette, the workspace appearance, the diagram template, and your style sheet as well. These are the main four things that we're going to look at. It's all to do with branding and how you can change your workspace appearance as well. So to start with, we're going to look at the workspace palette. So what this is, it's a you can set a quick access color palette, which you can use in any of the color pickers that we've got in Spark, sorry. And the way we can do that is by heading to the admin panel and under style sheets, and I'll show you guys how that works as well. So if I just click here, and it should take me here. So the way I got here, I went down to the admin section and then under style sheets. As you can see here, we've got the workspace color palette, and as it says here, you can select, essentially you're pinning a number of colors that you may want to have quick access to use across your processes or across Spark as well. And this will be set for all users across the workspace. So it's not at an individual level. Whatever you set here is what every user in your workspace will be able to access. So typically what people will do is they'll set their sort of company colors, whatever branding colors they have. You'll put it here, and what it does is it stops you just having to keep scrolling through the colors every time you're maybe changing a text color or the color of a box, for example. So what you will do, if you haven't ever set this before, obviously this will be blank. You just simply click add more colors. You'll have a little color picker here, and then you'll click that, and you've got a whole variety of colors to select from. And you can also put in the color code as well. So if the color that you want isn't available in this selection here, then don't worry, you can simply just type in the color code. So as you can see here, we've put in Netcall's colors here, and that just makes it really useful, helps save time, and I'll show you how that can be applied as well. So let me head back to the process, and I'll show you how that works. So let's head into edit mode, and here I've just got an example box with a sticky note. We've set our color palette, so if I just click on the box and I can go to box style, these are the color pickers which I mentioned, so they're throughout your process. Throughout the different menus, you'll come across them. So for example, here I've got like a teal border on this box. But if I want to change that, I can just click border color, and you can see here it's saved the selector colors that we put in the workspace color palette, which is really useful. So I can go for this one here. I'll click save, and it's changed. And this works for anything as well. So I can just show you on a sticky note as well. If we want to change the fill color, we can change it to this color here that we've selected, and there you go. So it's really easy, saves a lot of time, and it's just a good workflow practice as well. So that's the first tip that I have got for you guys. So let's go to number 2, which is the workspace appearance. So what this is it allows you to set the color theming of your workspace. This is probably more for newer workspaces, ones that haven't been really set up yet or are in the process of being set up. So when you first get your workspace, you'll want to sort of set that initial branding. So if I just pop out of edit mode. So the way you can head to this again is under the admin panel and under appearance, and as you can see here, we've got the workspace color theme, plenty of different colors to choose from. If I just cycle through all of them, you can see the changes that it makes to the text and to the menu as well. So just choose the one that you want, the one that fits your company's branding the best. The reason why we don't have a color picker is just because there's lots of elements that we have to look into when it comes to coloring. So we have to make sure everything's legible and everything matches as well. And then of course you've got your workspace logo here, which you can change, and then you just click update and it will update that. So that's number 2, and I'll just head back to the process. So number 3, a little bit of a more advanced tip here. Sort of when this is for when you've gotten used to process mapping. You might want to look into diagram templates. So what this is it allows you to set a default template, and that can be used across all of your processes. So you can set default content that will always appear, saves you from having to create the same content over and over again in each process, which is very useful, for example, with branding. So yeah, I'll show you guys how that works. So again, same as before, almost everything's under the admin panel for that initial setup. So you want to head to admin, diagram templates, and you will have the Spark template by default in all workspaces. And you can see here, it also has a little default tag on it. It will tell you how many processes are being used with this diagram template. And you've also got the option to edit your current template. And then you've also got a few more options here. If you click the little ellipses, you can duplicate the template, which is useful. If you want to make a very similar template, then you can just use one that's already existing, duplicate that and go from there. And you can also delete a template as well, which is very self-explanatory. So you've got the option to create a new diagram template, which is what you might do, or you can just duplicate the Spark template that we provide by default. What I've done is I've just created one beforehand here called drop-in template. You can see it's being used by one process at the moment, and we will just head in and click edit. So here I've just got an example of what you might do with a diagram template. It's very simple, but you can see here, for example, what I've done in this template. I've added a home button, so this will link back to, at the moment I've got it set to link back to the process, the drop-in process. I've also got the process owner here, which I'll go into a bit more detail about how that works. And here I've also got the process purpose as well. So I've also changed the little, just the little box underneath, just to give it a bit of a different look, and the title as well. So this is just an example of why you might want to use a different diagram template. For example, if you have different departments in your company, maybe they're using different logos that you might want to add, so you can change the logo here with something different, or they might have a different color scheme that they use compared to another department, and then that way you can set different diagram templates depending on the process, depending on the department, and that's just quite a useful way to differentiate your process. So what I would do is I'll just head out of this. Excuse me for a moment. So let's head out of edit mode and let's head back to the home, and I'll show you what this looks like in an actual process as well. So let me just find this. Here we go. So actually, before I do that, I'll just show you something very quickly. So this is the process that I've applied the diagram template to. And what I will just show you here is I've set the process owner already, so it's myself, and I've set the process purpose already as well, so it's a short description about what the process is. And why that's quite useful is because of what I've set in the diagram template. So now that I've populated that information in the process, you can see here up at the top, it's got the process owner, which is myself. So if I were to click that, it would open up my email address if you want to send an email to the process owner. And also I've got the process purpose here. So that's quite useful. So what you can see is that because of what I've added to the diagram template, that will now, if you apply that to an existing process and you put in the information that you need to put in, it will show at the top here. So it's quite useful. And I've also got a working link, which will take me back to wherever I want. But that's just an example. There's many different things that you can do with your diagram templates. For example, if you're heading into a sub-process, maybe you want a menu on the side, and you can create that in diagram template if you would like, which you can apply to all of your sub-processes as well. So it's very useful. And what I'll just show you is the way that I added this to our diagram template, this sort of dynamic information. If you head to the bottom left corner here under Get Help, we have something called dynamic text, which is really useful. And what this is a set of variables, or it's a list of variables which is related to your process. So you have many different things, such as the process name, the process purpose, which, as you can see, I used here, process owner, which I used here as well. So there's a really good list of different variables that you can use. You can use this process published variable, which will tell you if the process has been published, the date that it's been published as well. So it's really useful as well for sort of process management, version management as well. And what you simply do is you will just click copy on the one that you wish to use. And if we head out, you simply just, let me just get a new text box, a new sticky note. So you'll just double click and you'll just paste it in. And then at the moment, because I haven't added any sort of, because I haven't published the process, it won't come up with that information. But if I were to, you'll see what version's published as soon as I do that. So just a little bit of a side tip there, which is really useful to use with your diagram templates. Those who do use it, do share with us your tips as well, or what you've done with it, because there's a lot of different uses. So yeah, just a little sneak peek here. As you can see, I've got these boxes here. You might be wondering why it looks like that, which I will go into in just a moment. In the fourth and final part of the drop-in. And what that is all to do with style sheets. So what is a style sheet? What you can do, you can set your style preferences for your the process content, such as your boxes, lines, links, even the groups as well, images, anything to do with styling of these boxes, you can change in this, which is really useful for branding as well. So let's take a look. Again, it's under the admin panel and under style sheets. As you can see here, we've got the section for style sheets. You'll have the Spark default one set by default. And what I've done is I've just duplicated this one and I've made one here, and I've set it to my default style sheet as well, which you can do under here. You've got various options. You can make it your default style sheet, you can duplicate it, you can edit your style sheet as well, and you can delete the style sheet as well. So what we will do, we'll just head in and edit the style sheet, just so I can show you what we have done here. So as you can see here, you've got the style sheet editor and style sheet preview. This is just an example to show what can be changed. So for example, with the activity box color, with the activity border color, I can just click the color picker here. As you can see, very useful. My workspace color palette is there as well, because I've set that already. All the colors are there that I might want to use to do with my company branding. So I can just set that to this yellowish color, and you can do anything. It's very powerful. You can change the border thickness if you want. So if for whatever reason I want to make the box really, the box border very thick, I can do that. I can change not just the box, I can change the link color as well. So if I wish to change it to this color, you can see here I've done that. And it's not just to do with the box as well. You can even change the line color as well. So if I want to change the sticky note line color, I can do that. I can change it to, I don't know, this green color. You can change the box opacity. You can change the text alignment. So if I really wanted to, I could change that to be left centered. Even you know, you can change whether the line is dashed or just a straight line. So it's very powerful. Just gives you some more options to just brand your processes and just give it that bit of a touch that you want to give to it. So just click save. And then once we do that, if I just head back to my processes and let's see how we can change that. So we've come into our process here. So the way you can change that is if you go under map properties in the bottom left, you'll see this option here for style sheet. And you can just change that to Spark style sheet, which is the one that we've set. And as you can see, it's made the changes that we wanted it to make. If I just connect a line to this sticky note, you can see the line's green, and that's all based on whatever we've set in the style sheet. So again, you know, you can create different style sheets based on, you know, different processes, if they're part of a specific group, if they're part of a department as well. It's completely up to you. The ball is in your court. But yeah, that's how the style sheet works. And same with the diagram template as well. Under map properties, you want to head to diagram template. And as you can see here, if I change it back to the Spark template, I'll just have to reload the page. And you can see all of a sudden it's gone back to normal. And if I go back to my drop-in template and click save, you can see here it's applied the template again. So very useful stuff indeed. And what I'll show you just as one last thing, under admin and in the diagram templates as well, when you make a diagram template default, you'll have the option to either apply it to all of your existing processes or just any new processes from now on. So just keep that in mind if you are setting a diagram template. You know, if you would just want to do it on a per process basis, then just head into the process and apply your diagram template that way. Same with the style sheet. But if you do want to apply it to all of your processes from this point forwards, or all of your processes that you've ever created, this is where you would do that. So do just keep that in mind as well. So I believe that's the end of the session. Again, just to go over some of the basics, just to show, you know, how your workspace and your process can be branded in different ways as well. So I do hope that you all picked up a few tips. So thank you very much. And of course, if you have any questions, myself and the Spark team are happy to answer them.